The regions of Italy are the first-level administrative divisions of the country, constituting its second nuts administrative level. There are 20 regions, of which 5 are constitutionally given a broader amount of autonomy granted by special statutes. Each region, except for the Ulster Valley, is divided into provinces. Regions are autonomous entities with powers defined in the Constitution. History: administrative districts of the central state during the Kingdom of Italy, regions were granted a measure of political autonomy by the 1948 Constitution of the Italian Republic. The original draft list comprised the Salento region. Friuli and Venezia Giulia were separate regions, and Basilicata was named Lucania. Abruzzo and Molise were identified as separate regions in the first draft. They were later merged into Abruzzo e Molise in the final constitution of 1948. They were separated in 1963. Implementation of regional autonomy was postponed until the first regional elections of 1970. The ruling Christian Democracy Party did not want the opposition Italian Communist Party to gain power in the regions, where it was historically rooted. Regions acquired a significant level of autonomy following a constitutional reform in 2001, which granted them residual policy competence. A further federalist reform was proposed by the regionalist party Lega Nord, and in 2005, the centre-right government led by Silvio Berlusconi proposed a new reform that would have greatly increased the power of regions. In June 2006, the proposals, which had been particularly associated with Lega Nord, and seen by some as leading the way to a federal state, were rejected in a referendum by 61.7% to 38.3%. The results varied considerably among the regions, ranging to 55.3% in favor in Veneto to 82% against in Calabria. List of regions, status. Every region has a statute that serves as a regional constitution, determining the form of government and the fundamental principles of the organization and the functioning of the region, as prescribed by the Constitution of Italy. Although all the regions except Toscana define themselves in various ways as an autonomous region in the first article of their statutes, 15 regions have ordinary statutes and 5 have special statutes, granting them extended autonomy. Regions with ordinary statute: these regions, whose statutes are approved by their regional councils, were created in 1970, even though the Italian constitution dates back to 1948. Since the constitutional reform of 2001, they have had residual legislative powers. The regions have exclusive legislative power with respect to any matters not expressly reserved to state law. Yet their financial autonomy is quite modest. They just keep 20% of all levied taxes, mostly used to finance the region-based healthcare system. Autonomous regions with special statute. Article 116 of the Italian Constitution grants to 5 regions home rule, acknowledging their powers in relation to legislation, administration and finance. In return, they have to finance the healthcare system, the school system and most public infrastructures by themselves. These regions became autonomous in order to take into account cultural differences and protect linguistic minorities. Moreover, the government wanted to prevent their secession from Italy after the Second World War. Trentino Alto Adige one quarter DTIROL constitutes a special case. The region is nearly powerless, and the powers granted by the region's statute are mostly exercised by the 2 autonomous provinces within the region, Trentino and South Tyrol. In this case, the regional institution plays a coordinating role. Institutions: each region has an elected parliament, called Consiglio Regionale or Assemblea Regionale in Sicily, and a government called Giunta Regionale, headed by the regional president. The latter is directly elected by the citizens of each region, with the exceptions of Ulster Valley and Trentino Alto Adige one quarter DTIROL, where he is chosen by the regional council. According to the electoral law of 1995, the winning coalition receives the absolute majority of the council's seats. The president chairs the junta, nominates and dismisses its members, called assessori. If the direct elected president resigns, new elections are immediately called. In Trentino Alto Adige one quarter DTIROL, The regional council is composed by the joint session of the two provincial councils of Trentino and South Tyrol, and the regional president is one of the two provincial presidents. See also, Italian NUTS Level 1 Regions, Regional Council, Presidents of Regions of Italy, Flags of Regions of Italy, ISO 3166-2, IT, Other Administrative Divisions, Provinces of Italy, Municipalities of Italy, References. External links, City Mayor's article, Italian, Regional Governments of Italy on italia.gov.it, Regional Governments of Italy on Governo.it.